Hi everyone, welcome to our Movie Palace channel. We're thrilled to have you here. Whether you're a returning subscriber or a new visitor, you're in the right place for engaging content, exciting stories, and so much more. Before we dive into today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We love hearing from you, so be sure to leave a comment and let us know what you think. Now, sit back, relax, and let's get started. In 1934, well-known analyst Hercule Poirot Kenneth Branagh tackles a robbery at the Congregation of the Sacred Tomb in Jerusalem. The fanatical, enthusiastic Belgian who looks for balance throughout everyday life and considers his case-tackling capacity to see a lie in the midst of truth or revile needs to rest in Istanbul, however, should get back to London for another case. His companion Book Tom Bateman, overseer of the Orient Express, offers him a room on the train. Poirot denies finance manager Samuel Ratchet's Johnny Depp proposed to recruit him as his protector during the three-day venture, as Ratchet has gotten undermining letters from an obscure party. That evening, Poirot hears peculiar commotions coming from Ratchet's compartment and sees somebody in a red kimono running down the corridor. A torrential slide wrecks the train and strands the travelers. The following morning, Poirot learns Ratchet was killed during the night in the wake of being cut multiple times. Poirot and Book research travelers as fixes start. Proof shows that Ratchet was killed by one individual, with Carolyn Hubbard Michelle Pfeiffer guaranteeing that a man was in her compartment during the evening and that since her lodge was close to Ratchet, the killer would have entered Ratchet's lodge through hers. Poirot finds a to some extent obliterated note interfacing Ratchet to the seizing of Daisy Armstrong, a kid who was snatched from her room and held for deliver. After the payoff was paid, Daisy was seen as killed. Ratchet is distinguished as John Cossetti, Daisy's ruffian and killer. Her demise caused her mom Sonia Miranda Rayson to pass on in the wake of giving untimely birth to a stillborn child. Her dad, Colonel Armstrong, then, at that point, serious self-destruction. The family's nursemaid Suzanne was captured and draped herself while in police authority, however excused after her demise. The train compartments were locked around evening time, so the main suspects were individuals in that specific compartment. Likewise, that compartment had a watchman who said he saw no one enter Ratchet's lodge during the hour of his demise. Ratchet's espresso is viewed as sedated, yet his valet Henry doesn't have the foggiest idea how the espresso was medicated previously or after he conveyed it to Ratchet. Then Poirot finds Hector attempting to consume the records of Ratchet's records. Poirot stops him and blames him for taking from Ratchet and subsequently killing him for the apprehension about being found out. However, Dr. Art Butnett affirms that Hector was drinking with him throughout the evening. More proof is found, including a blood-stained cloth and the button of a guide's uniform tracked down in Hubbard's compartment. The uniform is subsequently found, similar to the kimono found in Poirot's own bag. Hubbard is betrayed. She makes do yet can't recognize the guilty party. Poirot finds a few of the travelers have direct associations with the Armstrong family. While meeting tutor Mary Debenham Daisy Ridley, John Arbuthnot Leslie Odom Jr. shoots Poirot in the shoulder, asserting that he is the killer. Yet is come by Book. Poirot understands that Arbuthnot, a clinical specialist and previous armed force rifleman, never intended to kill him. Poirot then, at that point, interview Count and Lady Andrigny. He finds that Lady's identification has been altered and concludes that her most memorable name isn't Elena, however Helena. He then, at that point, finds that Helena is as a matter of fact the sister of Sonia Armstrong, who is living in long-lasting trepidation from the occasions of the past. Poirot meets the suspects outside the train, offering the hypotheses of how Ratchet passed on. The first is basic. A killer masked as a guide boarded the train, killed Ratchet, and escaped. The second is more perplexing. Each suspect is associated with the Armstrongs, Suzanne, or her preliminary here, and they're including the individuals who had imagined in any case and had rationale to kill Ratchet, Cossetti. Hubbard is uncovered to be Linda Arden, previous stage entertainer, and Sonia Armstrong's mom. Poirot uncovers that the 13 different travelers on the train and the train guide were undeniably associated with the Armstrong family here and there. Hector Willard McQueen, Josh Stray, Ratchet, Cossetti's secretary was dedicated to Sonia Armstrong. McQueen's dad was the lead prosecutor for the capturing case. He knew from his dad the subtleties of Cossetti's getaway from equity and planned to kill Ratchet. Hector's dad was compelled to pursue the servant on wobbly proof. The house cleaner later offed herself, and afterward the proof turned towards Cossetti. Hector's dad was pilloried for this. Edward Henry Masterman Derek Jacobi, Ratchet, Cossetti's valet, was Colonel Armstrong's Batman during the conflict and later his valet, who likewise went about as head servant to the Armstrong family. Colonel Arbuthnot was Colonel Armstrong's companion and dearest companion. Mrs. Hubbard is, in reality, Linda Arden, family name Goldenberg, the most well-known appalling entertainer of the New York stage, and was Sonia Armstrong's mom and Daisy's grandma. Lady Andronyni Helena Goldenberg Lucy Boynton was Sonia Armstrong's sister. Count Andrei Sergei Polunin was the spouse of Helena Androny. Princess Natalia Dragomirov Judi Dench was Sonia Armstrong's backup parent and a companion of her mom. Miss Mary Dibbenham was Sonia Armstrong's secretary and Daisy Armstrong's tutor. Fraulein Hildegard Schmidt Olivia Colman, Princess Dragomirov's house cleaner, was the Armstrong family's cook. Antonio Foscarelli, a vehicle sales rep situated in Chicago, was the Armstrong family's escort. Miss Greta Olson, a Swedish teacher, was Daisy Armstrong's medical caretaker. Pierre Michel Marwan Kenzari, the train guide, was the dad of Suzanne, the Armstrong's nursemaid who ended it all. Cyrus Hardman Willem Dafoe, an investigator for hire apparently held as a protector by Ratchet. Cossetti was a cop in affection with Suzanne. Hubbard concedes that she assembled everybody and arranged the homicide. Each of the suspects alternated cutting Ratchet. Arbuthnot wounded Hubbard without jeopardizing her life to persuade Poirot of a solitary executioner. Poirot moves the travelers to fire him with his weapon since he is the one in particular who can uncover their plot. Bouc can lie, yet Poirot fixated on truth, and equilibrium can't. Hubbard snatches the weapon and attempts to commit suicide. The firearm is dumped. Poirot needed to perceive how the suspects would respond. As the train is placed in the groove again, Poirot reasons that equity is unimaginable for the situation, as Ratchet merited demise. Interestingly, he should reside with an untruth and irregularity. Poirot presents the solitary executioner hypothesis to the Yugoslavian police, permitting the suspects to leave. As he lands the train, a courier requests that he explore a demise on the Nile. Poirot takes the case.